Hey guys, we're Two Dudes Gaming. This is Two Dudes Talking. Pretty much we talk about board games, video games, and life. Today we will be comparing SimCity and SimCity Skylines, I believe.
City Skylines. Just
City
City
Skylines.
Skylines. Yeah.
So we're going to be comparing and contrasting, and taking what we like from one game and what we don't like from the other game. So, yeah.
Well, before we start, and if you guys haven't hit that red subscribe button, go ahead and do that for us if you want to see more content like this and video game content. We do a lot of video games, you know. It's kind of like the title of the channel almost, but
Wow, no way.
I know. Two Dudes Gaming. Anyways, let's get right into it. Patrick, SimCity, or not SimCity? Yeah, SimCity. You played it before?
Yes.
Yes. What would you rate overall, like, out of 10? How would you rate SimCity?
Computer version or phone version?
Both.
Both? Okay, phone version, like a solid 2. I don't like the phone version.
You don't like the phone version?
No. It's easier, in my opinion, to do everything on the computer version. So, computer version is a solid, like, I'd say about 7.
Okay.
What would you rate it?
I'd rate it like a 5.
I can
Just because
understandable.
I've played City Skylines, and I prefer it over SimCity. Just because.
Oh, I'd prefer City Skylines over SimCity too, but
Yeah.
SimCity is still a solid game.
City Skylines, what would you say?
That's a solid 8 or 9.
8
just
or
because
9?
It's such a streamline.
What would it take for it to be a 10?
Add a war aspect to it.
A war?
Yeah, kind of like Civ.
City?
Civ, yeah. Like have a war aspect where you can go and attack other people and claim stuff or like that.
But it's City Skylines, bro.
I know. I'm not big on just straight builder games. I like builder and thing. It's personal preference.
I would rate City Skylines 9.5 out of 10. 9.5.
So what would it take to get a 10?
I would say more interactivity. You know, like personally, what I would like to see is like in-game events that could pop up, where like you
That'd be
have
cool.
to solve something. I know there are scenarios, but those just aren't cutting it for me because you have to buy the DLCs for those. Uh,
Yeah.
so I would say in-game scenarios that pop up every once in a while, just keep it exciting, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but overall, I think it's a great game. I think it's a great game.
I can see that.
Now they don't have a mobile version like SimCity does.
Yeah.
SimCity's mobile version was interesting, to say the least. It was interesting when I played it. But,
yeah.
it could have been worse. It could have been worse.
They don't have any like smog things like Sim Skylines does. Not Sim Skylines, Skylines.
Yeah, City Skylines. They don't have the. They don't have the quite like environmental aspect on that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I have 2 DLCs for City Skylines. I have the Mass Transit and then the Greener is Better or something. It's the Parks DLC. But I really like the Mass Transit one. It's a pretty fun one. It's
Right.
It adds a lot of new things into the game that I prefer more, I guess.
Makes sense.
It's exciting and new. But okay, well, let's dive right into it. Patrick, you're given one choice, SimCity or City Skylines to play for the rest of your life. What would you choose?
Is that the only game I could play for the rest of my life?
Yes.
Ugh.
I know. It's kind of a...
I'd probably stop playing video games, to be perfectly honest, but if I had to choose one, I would probably choose Skylines.
Skylines? Why Skylines?
Just because it's got the more economic aspect.
It does have a lot of economic aspect.
And also the it's got the DLCs, like you said.
It has a lot of DLCs. They come out with DLCs like a lot. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But okay. That's what I kind of assumed you were gonna say, but I didn't know. Didn't know for sure.
Yeah.
But
and Brett, for I already know what you're saying, but what would you choose?
City Skylines for sure.
Yeah.
I think City Skylines quality game. It's fun. But yeah, you know, what do you think about SimCity's just like straight road mechanic?
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I like the City Skylines like that you can curve a road. Like I think it's more realistic. Granted, City Skylines also had a bigger budget than SimCity did.
True.
And it's a newer game. But I think like in SimCity, the reason why I didn't like it so much is just because like the cities got too grid-like, and that's
Yeah,
what it was just placing certain buildings in the grid.
yeah, and I know you can technically curve stuff, but even if you're trying to make a straight line, like when you actually want to have a straight line in your city, it'll curve it all over the place,
Yeah,
and then you can't do a straight line when you need one, but it'll just all curve it out.
yeah, it's crazy. I didn't like that aspect of it. It was not the most appealing to me.
And you have to play so long to be able to like expand it so it doesn't look so grid like after a while,
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
which is really annoying.
Yeah,
But
the
eh,
grind. It's a pretty grindy game, honestly.
yeah,
It's a very grindy game, but yeah, that part is interesting. I do like how SimCity or like the Sims series, they have like all those different games.
yeah,
Uh, I've never played the Sim or the Sims or whatever it's called, but I thought it was interesting how they like branched off of that.
yeah, yeah,
It was interesting, and it's been around a lot longer, so it has like multiple editions of the game, I guess you could say.
yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, it was a nice aspect to it, but SimCity is definitely inferior, in my opinion, to City Skylines.
Yeah,
It's interesting because like if ever you search it up, like the top comments are like a city planner plays City Skylines and or SimCity, and
yeah,
I think one, I think it's kind of dumb, but it's kind of also interesting how like the city planners look on it because they don't always have to worry about like the sewage system and the power stuff, but it's like interesting how more effective they are at it than I am, honestly.
yeah,
Because one, they put in a lot more thought than I do, but like it's interesting because like I guess my thought is like they could be seeing our whole like their whole job as a video game,
Hmm.
like urban.
It's a fair point.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
I think I don't know. I'd be interested in like 10 years from now if you polled a bunch of city planners, asked them if they played like City Skylines or SimCity as a kid. I feel like it'd be higher than you'd expect, honestly.
yeah, yeah,
But just because video games are such a big thing now, video games are.
yeah.
It's what we do. It's what we do.
We decided to try to turn it into a business.
More of an entertainment outlet.
Yeah,
More of
that's
an
fair.
entertainment outlet. But anyways, yeah, I say that one thing I do wish was in SimCity and City Skylines. More so City Skylines because it's a newer game. Although I see how this could be like hard to do, and like I don't know if it's ever going to be possible, but implement like a multiplayer feature
Mm.
where like kind of like Minecraft, like you two don't have to be on at the same time, but you can still access it like when the other person's offline, I guess you could say,
Yeah,
and build on the same city. I think that would add like I don't know if it would bring in new community members, but it would get people back into the game.
yeah.
You know?
It also like I know Sky. I'm pretty sure Skylines has the ability so you can all play on a similar region. So you'll be able to go and view each other's cities, but you can't play in the same city.
Yeah, yeah. I wish that there's probably some mods out there, but I don't know about that. Although mods, if SimCity was like as heavily modded, I bet you they came out with another one. But like City Skylines has like thousands and thousands of mods. Like since it came
Yeah,
out in I don't know when. I'm assuming 2000 like 11, 12. But because it's like constantly updated, there's like so many mods for it that like if you get bored, you just download one mod that changes the whole thing.
that's fair.
That's mostly how it goes for most Paradox games, like Solaris and Hearts of Iron 4. Like
Mm.
mods, there's such a big modding capability.
Uh, yeah. What?
Bergman needs your shirt size for or your shirt order.
Medium.
Medium?
Yeah.
You sure it's not a large?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Starring Patrick Spider. Guest appearance today. Guest appearance.
Yeah.
Fun.
Oh, don't pay any attention to that. He had to. We're doing a thing over summer. Coronavirus ends, and there's a shirt size that I need.
Speaking of which, Patrick,
Hmm.
what do you think about government's reopening?
Yes,
Yes?
please, yes, because then I can go to Canada.
Yeah, we get to have fun. Exciting. You know, yeah, that's about it. It's just exciting. Because I can get my driver's license eventually. But,
Oh yeah, that's right. People can't get their licenses yet.
yeah, no. And it sucks. So I imagine it would suck more if, like, you're an adult whose
Oh,
license expired, you know, and stuff.
I think that they have been extended.
I bet you they have too, but I'm not entirely sure about that. I don't know.
I'm
That
pretty
just
sure
seems
I
like a
remember
pain.
that.
Because like
Yeah.
it's only extended for a certain period, but like when that period ends, everybody's gonna go to the
Medium or
DMV.
large? Medium or large?
Medium. Yeah,
Like
I can see
everybody's
that.
gonna be gone, and it just might take longer than they all plan for. But I mean, it's the best they could do. It's the best they could do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but just big pointers. I wish they had a multiplayer feature to City Skylines.
That was way off topic now I think about it.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We're always off topic. We're never. Well, we're not never on topic, but we're not frequent.
Yeah.
It's not frequent that we're on topic, but that's okay. Anyway,
Another thing that's better about Skylines is that you could follow like individual people throughout their day-to-day life.
you can. I like that.
It's a nice part about it.
Yeah, you can like look at cars, and also like you can see like what the cars are there for. And there's like
Yeah.
a wide range of stats that you have access to.
Yeah.
So you can like see the statistics of your city and like who's going where, I guess. Like what's important to them.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
just availability feature it's nice because a lot of city builders don't have that.
It also feels more like a city too, just with that aspect.
Yeah, it does. It kind of does. And yeah, especially the whole roads thing, like the traffic system, like just base level, even without the DLC that I have, is really complicated. Like it
Yeah.
takes a lot of thought into like which roads you put where and like how big they are. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Yeah.
And I know that was one thing I did not like about. I'm not sure if this is in City Skylines and dive too deep into that game, but in SimCity, one of the things I didn't like about it was how you could continuously expand a road.
Yeah.
Regardless if you already had builds there.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb.
So like I ended up with like an eight lane highway in the middle of my thing, but originally it was just a 2-lane, and I didn't move any buildings.
Yeah.
So
yeah, City Skylines, the roads get bigger, so you have to move buildings. So it takes a lot of forward planning because like if you place an essential building there, then you can't upgrade the road unless you move the building, which costs money. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I probably have like 300 hours on City Skylines.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, I have a lot of hours on my Steam games, like hundreds. I think my highest one is like 500 hours.
I think my highest one is 1,400 or 1,500.
Oh my gosh. And you said, oh my gosh, to me having 300 hours on a game.
I'm saying City Skylines that's a very long time on a game. Yeah. Specifically as a builder.
It's a wait game. It's a wait game. Like, you gotta wait for the money to come back and all this stuff.
True.
It takes a bit. It's not like FPS games where it's fast and quick. It's just...
I have 1,500 hours on one of those games.
Yeah,
so.
It just proves how lifeless Patrick is, guys.
Just how into gaming I am.
Yeah. That's your take on it.
Yeah.
But
me and Brett's definition of gaming is
it's different.
Yeah.
It's different. I'm more of a strategy guy. Patrick is more of an FPS guy.
Yes.
That's how it goes. That's why I'm so bad at Fortnite and Apex Legends and all those games. It's just not my forte. Not my forte.
Yeah. And this has devolved from SimCity and stuff to more like what's gaming in our point of view.
Yeah.
Because my view of gaming is it's easier to make it big and be well known as a gamer if you play more FPS stuff. Like, yeah, I know there is Twitch streamers for Skylines and SimCity and those kind of things, but it's easier to be like known if you're FPS or like a third person game like Dota 2 or League or Overwatch or Fortnite.
Dota 2.
Dota 2 is a pay to win pretty much.
Oh, it is. That sucks.
Yeah, you have to buy better swords and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a shame.
And there's this big scandal like a few years ago based on like people trading swords that were worth a lot of money, and then some team of the enemy's team, not the enemy's team, one of the, I don't remember which team, but somebody sold somebody else's swords, to these really rare swords, to normal people, and it was the people who were going to be competing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was a rough time for those guys.
Yeah, that does not sound like fun.
No, it was not fun.
Scandal a while back in the Rocket League community.
What happened?
Well, like the Rocket League community is in like three sects if you think about it. The pro players, or the wannabe pro players, because Rocket League has like a minor league and a major league of pro players. So it's like, I want to say 1,000 players in total. In the major league, there's like 100, but in the minor league, there's a ton. There's a lot of divisions. But and then the regular players like me, because I'm trash. And then the trading community, who really just is there for trades and cosmetic stuff. And so the trading community is huge. Like they're pretty well connected too. So if you're a newcomer, it's kind of hard to get connected because nobody trusts you really. But there are all these videos online of like big Rocket League YouTubers. Like I don't know if John Sandman has one, but I know Sunless Khan has one where he tried to get the rarest item in the game. And it cost him like $100 or something, and that was on a very discounted price. But I remember a while ago, so these two guys set up a website, which was like, back then crates were the game, and so you could buy keys and or earn keys to unlock these crates that give you cosmetic stuff, kind of like Fortnite and stuff. But these two dudes set up a website, and like you could buy keys or buy crates. And they had their whole trading system set up where it would send it to you and stuff. And then another feature was you could buy cosmetics. So the rarest cosmetics they didn't always have because you only have what you have in stock. And the rarest one is like a white top hat, I think it's called. I'm not entirely sure, but it's like there's only like 32 in the game or something. And so only 32 people have them. And that's why they're very rare and pretty expensive, because I don't know, people are just like white top hats, I guess. But so like you can buy things on that website from like 2 cents all the way to like $3,000. And so Rocket League shut them down because they said it violated terms of use with the whole selling and trading like website thing. And then they set it up again, like under a different name, and they checked all the terms of use stuff, and then their website was clean after they changed some of the stuff, but Rocket League still shut them down again. And so that's when the trading community really boomed, because that was the only way to get stuff now after the website was shut down. But then this one guy scammed the heck out of so many people for so much money. And because a lot of people who trade are like our age, and this is back when the community was new, so not everything had like definite values, and you couldn't, even if it did have a rare value, you didn't know how much because you're only linked in with like 10 other traders. But so this guy scammed the heck out of so many people, and he sold it all eventually to other players who knew the actual worth, and he made like $80,000 off of it.
Dang.
And he lived in Europe somewhere, and then he eventually got caught on, I think it was tax fraud, or whatever the European version of it is. And then they dug deep into his history and stuff, and I guess over there it was like, it was a crime. I think he lived in Denmark, but it was a crime to like scam people out like knowingly. And so they gathered enough evidence, and he's like in prison for 30 years.
Dang,
30 years over scamming people off a video game.
that's whoa.
I know. It was crazy. I watched a
That's
YouTube video on it. I'm like, what? No way somebody went to jail because of Rocket League. Well, no. He went to jail because of Rocket League.
dang.
For a long time, too. It was
That's
crazy.
rough.
And to get caught on tax fraud was so funny. Like, the most simplest of thing gets you in so much trouble. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like, the initial thing was going to be like 2 years, but
yeah. That's
it was
yeesh.
crazy. I did not expect to see all that in the video, but it was interesting, you know? It just proves how like video games are becoming more a part of life. They're just a regular part now because a lot of people have like their careers online and stuff.
Yeah.
So
It also opens like an interesting aspect of like what. That also opens an interesting aspect of what the future might become too, because I think more and more jobs are becoming automated, so online also.
yeah,
So less and less requiring to go to brick and mortar buildings. So I'm gonna start to guess that we're gonna see a lot less business corporation buildings in the future, just because online the whole network
online
thing is starting to
dominates
become.
all. Especially
Yeah,
especially like right now, like the whole online ordering and DoorDash and stuff.
yeah,
Like people, I I wouldn't say people who like denied online is becoming a big thing because I don't think that's the right term for it. But they're definitely those people who are like online, like the internet sucks and it shouldn't have been invented. Well, now they have to rely on it.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
feel like more and more people are coming around to the idea that the future is going to be digital. And
yeah.
so I'm interested, like, I want to say 20 years from now, I want to say a good, like, 15% of all factory jobs and, factory and, like, accountants and stuff, they're all going to be online. They're all going to be digital. Because all
I
the
think some
employers,
accountants will be, not all.
well, I don't think all accountants, but I think a good portion because I know like a lot of employers now are like, well, he's doing the work from home, but then since these online companies are booming right now, all their business is coming to light, and there are a lot of those accountant online things, and
Hmm.
it seems easier to have an online digital accountant deal with a digital buy because a lot of the companies had to move to online, you know, like online
Yeah,
orders and stuff. And so it just seems easier to have it just all go through the computer than to go through the computer to a person, then to the person back into the computer.
yeah.
So I'm just saying
It
it'll be
also,
interesting to see like how much the world changes from
yeah,
this.
yeah. And I think everybody's also going to become a little bit more independent now,
Yeah, yeah.
and less like, oh, let's go outside and like go spend a whole lot of money. I don't know, at a restaurant or something like
I
that.
feel like there are still gonna be those people, but not out
Oh
of our
yeah,
generation anymore. Because like if you're like 40, that's your lifestyle. And you
yeah,
just see this as a bump in the road. But for us, it's like what we learn from, I guess you could say. Not like they don't learn from it too, but it's what we like the lessons that we see from older generations, I guess.
I really hope you're not right in that assumption, just because that means my business plan for what I want to do in the future will not work.
No, Grubhub. You're gonna work at a fancy restaurant, Patrick, and people are still gonna go to
Mm,
fancy restaurants.
that's true. That's
But
a fair point.
we're not gonna go. I want to. I think it's safer to say that our generation is not gonna be like the millennials. And I
I
actually,
need my
yeah, I
avocados.
kind of think after this, the millennials are gonna like, you're gonna see a big increase in apartment and house buying because they're gonna realize how much it sucks to live with their parents.
Mm,
I feel like the reason why, the reason why a lot of them is because they suck at life. Like they get knocked down and they don't know how to get back up. But also like they're out all the time, so they don't really have to interact with their parents. And like they live in the
yeah,
basement, so they go out all day and then just go sleep in the basement. But now that they actually have to stay home, I feel like they're gonna be like,
yeah,
I need my own place,
yeah.
which I
And
think is good.
also,
I think
yeah,
it's good.
that's probably good for that entire generation and as a whole. But I think it also would be. What was I gonna say? It was yeah. I was gonna say something. Oh, I hope this also like reflects on what also politically, like, however that whole thing is going on where the one was like, Trump's a terrible guy. He made me inject bleach into my skin or whatever that was. And
Yeah, that couple in Arizona, that was weird.
they did that?
Yeah. They took the chemical in, or I don't know what it was. I think it was like window cleaner or something. But Trump
Windex?
mentioned like Windex, yes. Well, Trump mentioned like a chemical that helps with the virus, and so they found the nearest thing with that chemical in it, which I guess was Windex, and they ingested it. And so they died.
That's bad.
I know. But
that's so dumb.
I know. It makes me wonder, like, how can you blame somebody for them trying to hurt you when you don't use common sense first?
Yeah.
It's
and
just like, yeah.
That also goes into the thing, like the whole fight that's big with millennials now, socialism, and like how they want America to be socialistic, but that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm 15 and could say that. That's a big point.
Yeah. It was interesting because, like, before this, New York was super socialist, like relying on, and I guess it makes sense because big cities are like that. You need to rely on public transit and public services to get around and do stuff because that's all you got in big cities. But they were super socialist before this, and they're like, because socialism is the government controls everything, and the government, the New York, like at least New York City, their government controlled everything, and look how bad it is. Like the U.S. had to send in a naval health ship.
Jeez.
To try and help them, and it just goes to show like how socialism doesn't work because your current system is failing in a crisis like this, and that's just how the world is these days. Is there's crisis after crisis. That's why you need a government. If there's any problems, then the government, we would have no need for it.
Yeah, it's also like that's why Canada is all closed up and stuff because the entire country is a socialist.
Social democracy,
social democracy, where their entire healthcare system is socialist.
Yeah.
So, first of all, you got high taxes, which is not bueno. But second thing is, if you get sick, you get put on a list based on what kind of sickness you get. Exactly. So there might be 500 people with a broken arm before you can actually get meds and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're all shut up, closed down. They don't want any more people to get in with the coronavirus.
Yeah, same with like places like England. England is I wouldn't say very socialist, but it's a socialist democracy. Their current government, and like their health system isn't good. Like even for doctors, because Kira is British, you know this. And
for those who don't know, that is Brett's girlfriend.
Yes. And she wants to be a dermatologist, which is a form of skin doctor. I don't know. But she's like, I'm like, so in the future, do you want to move back to England and be a dermatologist? And she's like, no, being a doctor in England sucks because they get paid by the government and the government does not pay enough. That's why, that's why their healthcare system is so bad because one, it's nationwide. And two, there's too high of a demand for doctors and nurses. But the reason, like, it isn't public education. It's private education to become a doctor and a nurse. And so with so much student debt and with so little pay, it's just impossible to get out of it. Like, you're going to be living in an apartment.
As a doctor. Ugh. That'd be rough.
I mean, doctors do live in apartments, at least for a while, because I got a lot of student debt. But
yeah. Just out of curiosity, is Kira a dual citizen?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because her mom is American, so.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I make fun of her all the time for being British. I probably should stop, but yet again, why?
It's still funny.
It's still fun. It's still fun. But it's interesting when I talk to her dad, because her dad's actually British. Well, she's actually British too. But
he's got the accent.
Dad grew up she has the accent too, but she doesn't use it. Yeah, well, because she lived there until she was like 8. but her dad like born and raised in England, and so I'm not allowed to bring up certain topics around him, and some of them are like super
Brexit?
obscure. Like no, Brexit ended. Brexit ended like I want to say at the beginning of the coronavirus outbreak, which
Oh,
I totally
cool.
didn't know that happened. But like
Either.
I'm not allowed to bring up Ireland. Um,
What?
that's about it. Really, only
You're
Ireland, and
literally
then
Irish.
Ireland and like U.S. history are the only things I'm not allowed to bring up. So,
Why not Ireland?
well, because the IRA, it's I don't know. I don't
Well,
understand.
yeah, they did bad stuff, but that's because they were being suppressed.
Well,
Not gonna lie.
I don't think the IRA was bad, but that's controversial. Unpopular opinion.
They
I think
did
the
bad
IRA was
things
bad.
in a pursuit to achieve something that would have been
Yeah.
better for them. So I'm not gonna fault them for that, but I'm not gonna praise them for it either.
I'm not going to praise him for that, for doing bad things, but yet again, England hates him. But think about what England did to the colonies. Not U.S. colonies, because we were not
Irish
13
colonies.
colonies, but like the African colonies and crap. Like it was so bad. I'm like, what do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
But
But-
it's interesting.
yeah. Why not U.S. history?
Because it always has to relate to England. Pretty much anything like World War One, World War Two, it always comes back to England needed the U.S. help.
That's not
The
true.
US is the only reason why they're still a thing. Because World War One,
Okay, that's true.
they were losing by a ton. World War Two, they were losing by a ton.
They weren't losing by a ton. They weren't winning either, though. So
Yeah, exactly. They weren't winning. They were just losing troops in the air. So they needed.
and so was Germany.
Yeah.
Not as much, but so was Germany.
Germany could outproduce England during World War One too.
True.
But anyways, that is an interesting side topic.
We'll get more into the World Wars later.
Yeah. We should have an
Maybe.
episode on World Wars. I don't know. We should do a short skit on the World War. That'd be funny. Like
Maybe.
World Wars, like you know how like some people explain gun control in cats with cats.
Oh my gosh. No, but that sounds so dumb.
It is, but it's hilarious. It should be like World Wars with pillow pets or something. I don't know.
Oh my
That would
gosh,
be
not
so
the pillow
funny.
pets again.
That would be so funny. Hey, he's fine. Okay, he's fine. He survived.
After you mercilessly beat him,
No, he still has a smile on his face. He still loves me. It's fine.
says the. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all we had, right?
Yeah, it's that we got way far away from where we started, but we ended in a good place.
It always happens that we get way
That's
far
fair.
away. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed our what is it now, third episode? Yeah, third episode of Dudes Talking. Let us know if you wanted us to have like any special guests or cover any special topics, you know. We'll be happy to. And yeah, hit that like, comment, subscribe button down below. Show us that love. And yeah, that's about it. See you guys later.
See ya.